Portuguese is much better. Good practice. This is English.
Okay. Anton, we'll start with you.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
Hi, Nuno. It's good to
Hello.
see you. We've all seen the interview you gave earlier this week. I'm just wondering how you're feeling then going into the new season.
The same concern, especially about the game on Sunday. We're going to play a tough game against a good team. And we are short on options to give solutions that the game might need is our major concern.
Club's in discussions with 4 potential players coming in. Does that make you feel any better?
Of course. I think things are moving. Potentially, I think, as I knew, the news is medical and all these things, details. And then let's see. But we need players.
Are you sitting there waiting to find out how these medicals go?
Of course. I'm not sure. I think for sure it's not going to be available for Sunday. But after that, will make us better and stronger.
You're looking at players in the front line. You're looking at players in the midfield.
I'm looking at players. Can you have time?
We've got as long as you want.
I think we need another option for the goalkeeper situation. I think we need another option. On the defensive line, fullbacks, I think we are okay on the centre halves. Midfield, still need. Nico is injured. I think 2 months to 3 months time he'll be back. Danilo is not here, so we need midfielders. On the wings also, Callum done. Only options. And in front, okay, we are Igor, Chris and T, but Jota. Maybe another body will be good because of the amount of competitions and game that we're going to give. So, yeah.
You mentioned Callum, Hudson, Odoi there. Obviously, we know the discussions are going on about a new contract and it's not far off. How happy are you, if that does get signed off, that he would be staying in the long term?
I think it's a priority to try and settle down the players that are in these situations. All signed, Nico signed, Morgan stayed, Mats renewed. So, I think always it was our idea to maintain the core of the squad. And these players that are here and comfortable and having great performances should be happy and settle down. I think Callum is one of the cases that the club must address.
Finally, for me, I suppose, obviously you're trying to build the squad before the end of the transfer window. It's not where you want it to be before the start of the Premier League season, but it looks as though it might be in a position where you want it to be before the start of the Europa League season. Does that make you feel better?
Sorry, I didn't understand.
You're working towards building the squad.
Yeah.
It's not where you want it to be for the start of the Premier League season, but obviously before the start of the Europa League season, it looks as though it will be in a much better place. That must make you feel a bit better.
Look, the concern is the same, you know what I mean? Because the 3 points that we're going to fight for are the same. Round 1, round 38. So we are the ones that then try to make these points are vital. No. The first point that it's always vital. So that's the major concern. So how can we go game by game on an approach that we are comfortable, that we have options? Because dealing with doubts is the worst thing that you can have in football. And now in these moments we have doubts. Who is going to be? When they're going to come? All these things, it creates doubts, not only in me, in the club. That's why we are trying the players. So by saying that, what we want is game by game, as many options as possible. Europa will come after, and for sure they will be better. But now these games that we have until that happens is a major concern, and we are aware we're gonna compete. I already told the players exactly what I told publicly. This is what we have. Let's get together. Let's be stronger. Let's make an extra effort. Even if you don't play in your position, come on, help the team. So those that are here are focused and ready to compete. What is the problem is if something happens, and that's the doubt.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Ivan, please.
Yeah.
Hi, Nuno. Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you.
I think it's something like 3 months since we were sat talking to you at the end of last season, something like that. You've had quite a long time as a club to prepare, and it feels it's all coming very late. Can you explain the timing and problems?
I think not only us, many clubs are in tough positions. Many clubs with different issues, different situations, some of them even more worrying. It's been a strange transfer market. It's been really strange. But what I always like as a coach, and I prioritize is as soon as possible having the squad ready. Because this is the moment that we have the chance to create the bond. This is the moment that we have the chance to create complicities, to repeat over and over again, to try things in the friendly games that we didn't have the chance to do it. So, yeah, it was tough.
You can't explain why it's been that way, though, why the timing has come this way.
Look, no, it's the transfer. I think it's the prices are all over. It's very expensive. The clubs have to make their own assessment of the things. Like I say, I think the entire Premier League is suffering the same.
A lot of the supporters would be eager for the kick-off, as I'm sure everybody is. But what would you say to your supporters who are listening to you talk this week with such concern, and they will be concerned to hear that? What would you say to them?
I think we are fortunate enough to understand that the supporters in nowadays know a lot about what's going on. They just look at the squads, and for sure in their minds they are saying, "Ooh, we might need another option for Ola." Because Eric Moreira, for example, we think as a club it's better for him to go on loan. He should play. He should play week after week. And potentially in 1 year, 2 years' time, we are going to have a very good right back. But in this moment, you need an alternative for Nico, for Ola, another body. So the fans know. But what I ask for them is their unconditional support on the Sunday here at the City Ground. And I know they're going to be noisy. I know they're going to help us. And I promise we're going to fight.
You've got to hit the ground running. There's no time for results to slip away. Brentford, many changes there too. What sort of a test you were expecting?
Tough one. Change manager. They have issues also. I think the two strikers, one went and the other I think is not going to be available. But they are options. They are a strong team. Damsgaard. They are very good players.
And one final one from me. What would success look like to you? Speaking at this point, just before the season, what would this season look like as a successful season?
I cannot project the success or even the main objective of this season today, because we don't know who is going to be, when is going to be, how long is going to take for the players that eventually join us to adapt. Because we have the same cases here. For example, we have players here that are working with us, and we are very extremely thankful for them that they are helping the situation of Omar Richards, like I mentioned, Eric, David Carmo, that are uncertain and potentially going out. These players that we're gonna join, they need time. They need time when they're gonna join. That's why the preseason is so important. Now, if they join us during the competition, everything is much harder because there's a major effect on the result. What is the result? What is the needs? So everything is different.
With all of that in mind, I can only wish you luck.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ivan. Charlie, please.
Hello, Nuno.
Hello.
Nice to see you. Has what you said earlier this week helped to accelerate the club's attempts to add 2 or 3 more players?
No, I think so. We as a club, we are aware of the needs. Since I don't see an immediate effect on that. What I said is it's in private. As we are, the club knows. The club knows.
It's unusual for you to bring your concerns public, though. I think that surprised a few of us.
Because maybe I never had them, especially in this beginning of the season. I recall that last season we started really well. I even recall, even in previous clubs, the beginning of the seasons were always very nice, very good for us. That's why first time I don't have this boost of confidence that I think we as a squad we need.
Important, though you don't have that confidence at the moment, how do you ensure that it doesn't transfer to your players as well?
They know. Look, even 2 hours ago we were having a meeting, and maybe you don't know me enough, but I'm a very direct and honest person. What I don't know is how to lie. Doesn't come out. Doesn't come out. And I was very, very straight with them, and they are ready. Those that are ready to compete on Sunday, they are ready, and they are looking for, and they are motivated, and the confidence is there. They want to fight. The problem will be the ifs that come during the game, and the same problems that maybe we had before. We didn't expect to have solutions. We need these options and solutions, because when the ball starts going, forget about preseason, forget about the market. Everything is going to be, and the football in the Premier League doesn't lie to you.
Just finally then, I know you touched on it very briefly earlier, there's no chance that the 2 or 3 players that you're attempting to sign with medicals potentially today, no chance any of those are available for Sunday?
I don't know. I cannot answer that. I don't know. I think it's noon.
Yeah.
I think the limit is noon, so it's gonna be, and I can tell you the team, I can tell you the squad, I can tell you everything, because first time I think since we are together it was very easy to do.
What's the team then? No, I'm just kidding. Thank you very much. Appreciate your time.
Thanks, Charlie. Jason?
Hi Nuno, good to speak to you.
Hello.
Ryan Yates said recently he was gutted at missing out on a Champions League place on the last day of the season. Can that kind of emotion be useful going into the new season?
No, if it's the interpretation is of frustration, it will not help. I think we don't feel this. I think what we did last season was amazing, and the players must be proud of what they did, and us that fans should recognize the effort that the players did. So no, we did well. Maybe we came short, but we did really, really well. We should be proud. You
said you don't want to put a target or have any expectation of what happens this season, but do you put any more pressure on yourself to try and repeat some of the successes of last season yourself?
Me and the players. We are demanding on ourselves. That's the first principle that we have. We have to be better. We have to work more. It's going to be very demanding, and the new challenge of Europe is going to change many of the dynamics that we had. So it's going to be something new for many of us.
And just finally from me, clearly the ruling on Monday, you guys benefited being in the Europa League, Crystal Palace staying in the Conference League. Do you have any sympathy for them as their sets of fans, the club at all?
Of course. Look, of course I have. And what my major concern is that please don't change the narrative. We are not to blame of the situation of Palace. And maybe when we go to Europe, people that are going to be in the stands are going to think that we stole something for someone. No. We achieved Europe, and now we are in a different competition. Okay, sympathy for Palace. Amazing what they've been doing, achieving the titles. Great respect for Oliver. I was with him personally. But we are delighted because we are in Europe. It doesn't matter really the competition. So for the growing of the club, only achieving this possibility of being in Europe, I think is a huge step. Huge step.
Thank you. Good luck
Cheers.
this weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jason. Cameras off, please. Written section embargo till 10:30.